We're back to the movement meditation circle. So weekly sessions to begin the new year. Happy New Year to you all. Of course, we're doing Kum Nye, and our manual is Kum Nye Tibetan Yoga by Tarthang Tulku Rinpoche. So I always mention this at the beginning of a series, just to really acknowledge and pay respect for where the teachings come from. Many of you have this book. If you don't, then you don't need it to follow the sessions. I'll be including any quotes and written descriptions of the exercises as we go along. Something that even those of you who've been doing Kum Nye for a long time might not know is that Tarthang Tulku, he learnt Kum Nye during his education in Tibet. His father was a physician and a spiritual teacher, a lama. And then when he came to the West, he landed up in Berkeley, California, and he offered 3 8-week summer programs. So for 3 years, for 8 weeks each summer, he'd had summer programs focusing on Kum Nye. And he took care to invite people from all different backgrounds, and especially people who are practitioners of different disciplines, physical disciplines, therapists. And so the Kum Nye that we have, I often say, because it's written on the back of the book, it's what do I say? I say it's systemized and adapted for Western students and modern lifestyles. And I think that describes this process that Tartan Tulku went through, where bringing the Kum Nye from Tibet, but adapting it, systemizing it, using the wisdom that many practitioners were already using. So it's a blend. And I feel that more and more, I feel that's why people find Kum Nye so helpful, because it is a blend. It's using the strengths and qualities of other practices and bringing them together in such a skillful way. So, and also those of you that are familiar with the book will know that um, he jumps straight in. Sometimes when you read a book, you have to get to the final chapters before you get to the point. Tartan Tulku in this book, page 3 is the first page. He already dives straight in. And this quote is from page 3. Through this type of relaxation, through Kum Nye relaxation, we discover a new way of being, a perspective that is open and delights in the integration of body, mind, senses, feelings, and environment. We learn to appreciate the completely wholesome quality of living experience. Sounds good. And that's what we're going to begin this series with, is really unpacking this quote. He talks about this type of relaxation, Kum Nye relaxation. So oftentimes, I think in the West, anything I say, by the way, you're welcome to reflect on it and decide if I'm right or wrong, but maybe hopefully interesting points for reflection. Oftentimes in the West, when we talk about relaxation, when I talk about relaxation or think about relaxation, it's sort of a stepping back, disengaging, switching off, unplugging, numbing down. So it's resting or relaxing, but it's a kind of putting a distance between us and whatever we're relaxing from. So Kum Nye relaxation, which actually was the original name of the book when it was first published in 1978, it wasn't called Kum Nye Tibetan Yoga. It was called Kum Nye relaxation. And the students who strongly requested Rinpoche to change the name now regret their request. They'd rather it was back with the old. They wanted to appeal to more people, I think. They thought it would appeal to more people, calling it a yoga. So Kum Nye relaxation, the original name of the book, it's a new way of being in the world. It's a new way of being in the world, not a way of detaching, a new way of being in the world. And it begins with being in touch with ourselves in a very deep level, on an energy level. And we do that through learning how to touch and transform the feelings and sensations in our body. So we're melting tension or blockages, held energy in the body, so that that energy can flow again, so that we feel more spacious, more open, in ourselves. We feel more whole. So that's the first thing, a sense of wholeness. And the second thing, and it's a direct um, result of this feeling of wholeness, is that the usual border between inner and outer becomes more fluid. So the space inside and the space outside, that border is less clear. It becomes more fluid until Tarthang Tulku says, we become aware of a deep, interpenetrating field of energy inside our body and beyond it. So it's one interpenetrating field of energy inside the body and beyond it. So there's no separation. So that's the new way of being. Our senses are open. Our senses are more open. So we're sensing, we're feeling. And in that way, we're interacting with the world. We're seeing things, we're hearing things, we're feeling things. And then we radiate out those feelings of joy and relaxation or relief. I often do. Let's begin with relief and then slowly contentment, joy. And then this second, so that first was wholeness, second is completeness. So we're whole within ourselves, but then we're complete within the world. And this is what Tarthang Tulku calls true balance. That's true balance. So it's quite simple, huh? But what complicates it? What blocks or derails this natural way of being so that our more common experience might be confusion, anxiety, busyness, exhaustion, overwhelm. And I might be oversimplifying this, but I'm sure, and I'm sure probably I am, but we need a foothold. So let's begin. Thinking mind. Number one obstacle is thinking mind. We're always in our head thinking. We race past or we slide over the surface of things. So we miss it, basically. We're missing so much. So we're unable to appreciate simple pleasures. And if we're unable to appreciate simple pleasures, then we're kind of constantly unsatisfied, wishing things were different, unsatisfied. So our response to that is we move faster and we move further away, reaching out further, if you like. So we're even further away from the answer. We miss it. It's so close, so available. We miss it and we just get lost, going further and further out, faster and faster out. So in Kum Nye, we begin by slowing down, stopping, taking a breath, letting the breath be natural. We come out of our head only, this small, busy space, come out of our head only into our whole body. As mind calms, feelings come to the foreground, sensations come to the foreground, and we experience that directly. That means we don't filter these feelings through thoughts, through thinking. We experience them directly, free of judgment, giving them lots of space. Shall we do it? Yes, we will. Okay, let's begin with our intention. So maybe there's something, hopefully there's something in what I've just said that sort of resonates, that appeals with you. Maybe it's to explore for yourselves a type of relaxation where we discover a new way of being, a perspective that is open, that delights in the integration of body, mind, senses, feelings, and environment. What does that experience feel like? And then to learn to appreciate a completely wholesome quality of living experience. So not just when we're on holiday or doing our favorite thing, but we can appreciate the completely wholesome quality of living everyday experience. So we can wish that for ourselves. And then we can open that out to include the others following with us. at the moment, at this moment in time. We're all in our separate spaces, but we're together in one space, one practice space. Maybe members of our family, friends, colleagues. May they experience a naturalness and ease in their everyday life. And then we reflect or remember the fact that all beings are the same. This is something we all want. We want to find meaning, fulfillment, clarity, contentment, satisfaction. So wishing that for all beings. Okay, let's begin. And if the first 10 minutes have passed you by, don't worry. We're going to practice, we're going to unpack this and develop it over the coming sessions. And then maybe we'll go back. You can go back to the 10 minutes we've just had and make sense of it all. So let's begin with our posture, sitting upright and alert yet relaxing. Many of you have heard me say these things many times, but until we all do it all day long, I'm going to keep saying it, mainly for my own benefit. So I feel the ground beneath me, supporting me, holding me. I feel my hands resting on my knees or my thighs. And the most important point of the posture is sitting upright and alert, yet relaxing, at ease. There's a naturalness. It's nothing forced. It's nothing tight or stiff. And one tip for the posture I always like, whether we're sitting or standing, is lifting gently through the crown of the head. So the crown of the head is 2 fingers back from the 2 finger widths back from the top of your head, lifting gently through the crown of your head. Feel the chin come in a little. The back of the neck aligns with the spine. This is just minor adjustments. The chest up a little. And the belly just a fraction in towards the base of the spine. Shoulders low and relaxing. And another key point in this tradition, which I'll keep repeating until we are all saying it in our sleep. Jaw relaxing, mouth slightly open. In this tradition, very important, mouth slightly open. We breathe through both mouth and nose. So we feel the breath entering the body through mouth and nose. The belly swells a little. There's a natural pause, and then we exhale as if from the belly, mouth, and nose. There's a gap after the exhale until the inhale naturally happens. And for those of you that have been practicing this for a little while, you might also like to try resting the tip of your tongue lightly on the palate above the top front teeth. Lightly touching the palate above the top front teeth. For newer people, this may all feel a little bit awkward, even distracting or frustrating, because it's new, because it's different. So just every now and then you can practice it, and as it becomes a little bit more familiar, it becomes easier. Breathing in this way feeds our head and our heart equally. Another way of saying it unifies head and heart, mind and body. And as we breathe, just have light attention now the back of the throat, where the tongue connects with the back of the throat. Light attention. So we're not going cross-eyed. We're not trying too hard. We're just light awareness. The back of the throat as we breathe. So the throat center is an important intersection or chakra in our subtle body energy system. So good to start by bringing our attention to the breath and to the throat center. And as we exhale, we can silently repeat, releasing, relaxing with each exhale. And feel a softening in the throat, a lightness in the throat center with each exhale. So the movements in Kum Nye, they're physical movements. We're using the physical body. Sometimes Tarthang Tulku refers to them as gestures or symbols. We're actually massaging our energy body, our subtle body at the same time. We're going to begin with an exercise called loosening up. It's number 15 in the book. So it's called loosening up. We can think of it as loosening up the energy body, the subtle body. There's 72,000 energy channels in our body, so I'm told. There are three main ones. The central channel, which runs down in front of the spine, and two side channels, which intersect the central channel at the chakras. So I like to think when I'm doing this exercise, I'm just warming, massaging these central channels, softening, like you would a hose pipe that's frozen. You warm it. As you warm it, it becomes pliable, it becomes flexible, and the water can flow through again. So we're sitting in our upright posture, lifting gently through the crown of the head, and we face forward. The head stays still, which will feel a little unusual because we're going to be moving our shoulders. Usually we move shoulders and head together, but in this case, we're looking ahead, keeping our head still with a soft gaze. So my eyes are open. I'm seeing everything, but nothing in particular. Usually we're hunting after objects with our eyes open. So we're even relaxing our gaze, softening our gaze. So we have panoramic way of seeing that's sometimes described. With our hands resting palms down on our knees or our thighs, move your right shoulder back. And as your right shoulder goes back, your left shoulder will go forward. Your right hand moves towards the body. Your left hand moves forward and covers your knee. And then reverse the rotation. So the right shoulders are coming all the way forward, right hand sliding along the leg until the right hand is over the right knee. The left shoulder is now back, the left hand close to the body. Looking ahead with a soft gaze, breathing easily through mouth and nose. Let's move again. So keeping the head still and rotating the shoulders around the central spinal chain or channel. So move the shoulders forward and back at a rhythm, at a speed that hooks your attention. So at a speed that feels natural or familiar to you. Loosening up so we can relax, we can loosen the belly, the sides of the body as we move. We can feel how this movement is massaging, exercising the spine from the base of the skull all the way down to the tailbone. And whatever speed you're moving, slow it down. When we slow down, we feel more. Looking ahead with a soft gaze and moving slowly. For newer people, this will all feel very strange. Just trust, go with the flow for now. And the next time your left shoulder is back, just pause there for a few moments. Feel the light stretch the back of the neck, in the neck and the back. Relax in the posture, here and now. For me, the way to do this is to just imagine if I have to stay like this for an hour, I would get comfortable, for sure. I wouldn't want to suffer for a whole hour or feel strained or off balance for a whole hour. So feel a sense of ease, of balance with the left shoulder back, the right shoulder forward. Breath flowing easily through mouth and nose. And then take at least 15 seconds for the left shoulder to come forward and the right shoulder to go back. So we're moving smoothly, feeling the movement, moving with feeling. When the right shoulder is back, the left forward, pause there. Relax in the posture. Looking ahead with a soft gaze, breathing easily through mouth and nose. And then bring your right shoulder forward until we're relaxing back in the sitting posture. This is oftentimes an opportunity for thinking mind to jump in. What's next? What's next? Faster, more. We're just going to rest in stillness for a few minutes. Light attention in the whole body, aware of any feeling, any sensation stimulated by the movement. And we experience it directly, which means without thinking, without judging, not even a label. So we're aware in the body of any feeling or sensation. We don't pen it in, restrain it. We give it lots of space. Let it breathe, let it open, let it expand. Let any tightness, any condensed energy soften, open, flow. Let it move throughout the body. Or if you like, open and expand to fill the body. And if there's ever a lot of feeling coming up, then we can release and relax on the out breath. The out breath is like our pressure valve. So we can feel, we can let off steam, we can release tension on the out breath. If your experience is different, there's no feeling, and you're sleepy, feeling a little bit dull in the mind or the body or both, then focus a little bit more on the in-breath. Make the in-breath a little longer. Each time our mind drifts away to another time, another place, we bring our attention back, light attention in the body, and feeling the coming and going of the breath. That's the practice of meditation, again and again, coming back into the posture with the breath. Shoulders low and relaxing. It can almost be like the more the more we relax our shoulders, the more tension we discover. It's like we go to a different level. Or you could say we just become aware of how much holding there is in the shoulders, in the chest. So during the course of this 60-minute session, we'll be doing a few exercises, but as always, during the transitions, we stay aware in the body and of the breath. So as we come up to standing, we're aware of the breathing and the movement of the body. So we're going to do two exercises while we're standing. And for the second one, it's important if we're on a slippy floor, that maybe you take your socks off We don't want to have a slippy floor. So if you're on a carpet or a wooden floor, but as long as it's not too slippery, yeah, we need to feel quite solid on the floor. So taking your socks off might be a good plan, or finding a carpet or something that's going to hold you. So as we come to standing posture, if you want to straighten your legs so they're dead straight, push your knees back, and then soften the knees a little, bend the knees a little. Do that a few times and notice how the quality of your connection with the ground changes. And you'll probably find when your knees are back and the legs are locked, it's less balance. And when there's a slight bend in the knee, we feel more balance, the contact with our feet on the ground. We feel the, the heels, the toes. There's a full contact on the ground. And then lifting gently through the crown of the head. So we feel the chin come in a little, back of the neck aligns with the spine, chest up. We want to come to a place where in everyday life, we feel when the posture is not good. And that reminds us. So becoming more and more familiar with good posture. So when we get lazy, we notice and we remember. And this posture should feel effortless. We're just aligning the body naturally. It's actually a way to relax. Good posture is muscle-free, effortless. The body naturally are aligned. When we align ourselves with gravity, we're not only drawn to the floor or firmly grounded. We don't only feel that, we feel buoyed up when the posture is well aligned. So then looking ahead with a soft gaze, just lift your shoulders so they come up close to your ears. So we're exaggerating the tension we hold in the shoulders now. You can imagine a puppet string tied to each shoulder, lifting them gently skywards. The neck and the head settling down between high shoulders. The breath continues, soft, slow, and even. Relax the belly and the sides of the body. Maybe the shoulders go up another fraction without straining. Breath continues. There's a slight smile on your face, which is a little confusing. You weren't expecting that. And then very slowly, take at least 15 seconds for your shoulders to come down to a natural position. So fraction at a time. Relaxing in the low position. I like this. It's almost like you have to feel the tension before you can appreciate or relax fully. So we kind of exaggerate the tension. And then afterwards, we reach a new level of relaxation. Soft knees. Let's lift our shoulders again. We enjoyed it so much the first time. Shoulders up. Neck and head settling down between shoulders. And then slowly rotate the shoulders back and down. The breath continues soft, slow, and even. The shoulders move back and down. Slow it down. Whatever speed you're moving, slow it down. And then forward and up with the shoulders. Continue rotating the shoulders in this direction, back and down, forward and up. So we're rotating our shoulders in the sockets. Maybe this is stimulating feeling in your hands and fingers. Maybe in your lower legs, your feet and your toes. Have light attention in the whole body as we rotate the shoulders in this direction. And the next time your shoulders are high, pause there for a few moments or for a breath. And then continue with the rotation in the opposite direction. So forward and down, back and up. This movement is number 16 in the book, Touching Feeling. How do we touch feeling? By being aware of the breath and bringing our awareness into contact with any feeling, any sensation in the body. And the next time your shoulders are high, pause there for a few moments. We're getting really good at this now. We can relax in the posture. Shoulders up. Inhale, hold the inhale in your chest and bring the belly towards the spine a little. 3, 2, 1. And as you exhale, slowly let the shoulders down. Relaxing in the low position. We're going to stand for a couple of minutes. If you'd rather sit, if being on your feet for a longer period is not so easy for you, you can take your seat for a minute. While we touch feeling. By being aware of the breath and in a spacious way, bringing that breath awareness to any feeling, any sensation in the body. Or a different way of, or a similar way of saying the same thing would be if there's a location in the body where there's feeling, your attention is there, and it's as if you're breathing into that location and breathing out from that location. But not focusing too intently, a light attention. Soft knees, lifting gently through the crown of the head, looking ahead with a soft gaze. So if you took a pause on your chair, it's time to get back to your feet. If you feel able, please feel free to sit out of any exercise if you wish to. Also, you can modify the movement to suit yourself. Even a small movement done with attention, with awareness, and with the breath, that counts. So you don't have to follow exactly if it's difficult for you. The next movement we'll do is number 58. It's called coordinating the wholeness of energy. Wonderful exercise. So our feet are a little wider apart, toes facing forward. Don't overdo it. We'll do it a couple of times. So just maybe a little wider than shoulder width to begin with. Unless you're already familiar with this exercise, then you do how you're used to. Then put your hands on your hips, fingers are forward, thumbs behind. Elbows nice and wide, and feel the breath across the front of the body and the back of the body. It's almost like having our elbows out like this encourages more space across the chest, across the back. And then turn your right foot to face right and turn the upper body also. The head and the shoulders, upper body turns to face right. The left leg is straight with the toes pointing straight ahead. And then lower by bending the right knee. Oh, wait, 1 second. Let's just lean back a little, keeping the chin in and look at the wall and look up a little bit. So where the wall meets the ceiling, maybe, depends what kind of room you're in. We're just leaning back a little and looking up. Chin is in and then lower by bending the right knee. The back leg, the left leg is straight. Relax the pelvis. You don't have to lower too far. Lower to a place where you feel like that's far enough. Relax in the posture. And the most important thing is now when we straighten the right leg, we do it slowly, smoothly. The slower we go, the deeper we reach, the more tension we soften, we release. And then turn your right foot to face forward, your upper body follows. Now we'll do the same on the left side, so turning our left foot, head and upper body follows. Now the back leg is straight, the right leg is straight. We lean back just a fraction, looking up a little, keeping the chin in. We're just leaning back, looking up a little. We lower by bending the left leg. Relax the pelvis. Breath flows easily through mouth and nose. Slowly straightening the left leg. Slowly straightening the left leg. Turning the left foot to face forward, upper body follows. Walking our feet back together, standing in a natural posture. And we may have an idea of the feeling stimulated by that movement, but we don't really know until we pause in stillness for a few moments and feel the difference. Feelings take time to manifest. That's why we pause and sit in between exercises so that the feeling can manifest. In the description, it said that this exercise stimulates feeling up the legs, along the back to the head. Coordinating the wholeness of energy. So this movement requires some coordination, isn't it? We're moving in a smooth, flowing way. And we're stimulating feeling from our feet to our head. And with me, it always feels like in the back of the body. So then I let those feelings along the back of the legs, the back of the spine, the back of the head, as if they're distributing or radiating forward to fill the whole body and even beyond the body. So let's try this movement one more time, and you'll have a sense of it now. So you decide, you can just do it very subtly, very gently, with your feet not so wide apart. Alternatively, if you're athletic and you feel like challenging yourself a little more, then by moving your feet a little wider apart will make a big difference. So find your stance, hands on hips, feel the posture, turning the right foot to face right, head and upper body follow, leaning back a little, looking up a little. So chin in, the head and upper body in one line, leaning back a little, and then lowering by bending the right knee, relaxing the pelvis. The left leg is straight. Relaxing in the posture. We know we're relaxing because the breath continues soft, slow, and even. There may be some light trembling or shaking. That's just the release of energy. Slowly straightening the right leg. And turning the right foot forward. Upper body follows. We're looking straight ahead. And then turning the left foot, head and upper body to face left. Chin in, leaning back and looking up a little, and lowering by bending the left leg. Relaxing in the posture. Relaxing the pelvis. Slowly straightening the left leg. Turning to face forward. Walking your feet back together. Releasing the hands, arms relaxing by our sides. Sometimes I imagine my body like a house. Take off the roof, let the walls fall away. So there's open space all around. Light attention in the whole body. If you become aware of any tension, for example, in the belly, maybe there's a heaviness or a holding in the belly, releasing and relaxing on the out breath. So we've been stimulating feeling in the lower body. If there's any blockage, any holding in the belly, it'll prevent that energy moving to the upper body. So relaxing the hips, the belly, and when you're ready, aware of the breath and the movement of your body, we transition back to our seat. Feeling the ground beneath us, sitting upright and alert, yet relaxing. And maybe as we sit now, compared to the beginning, we don't feel there's a difference there. There's alertness and there's relaxation. It's not like two different things. Our relaxation has an alert quality. Our alertness is not too tight, not too stiff. Our attention is in the body. Thinking mind is in the background, maybe quiet or even absent for a little while. So we're able to appreciate the simple pleasure of feeling sensation in the body, and that satisfies us, nurtures us. We don't need to go elsewhere. We don't need to extend. We don't need to go further. We're happy, satisfied, nurtured in the present moment. Enough is finally enough. Each time we realize we've been distracted, we're already back. So we just begin again with light, gentle body awareness. A perspective that is open and delights in the integration of body, mind, senses, feelings, and environment. And that's not a list, a long list of things. That's just having open, light attention, aware in the present moment. So in the beginning, we set our intention at the end. We dedicate to seal the practice in a good way. And in many traditions, this is often done in the gesture of prayer like this. Kum Nye, we have what's called a closing gesture, which is very expressive. I like it. I'll just describe it to you now. So we link our fingers together in this way, and then put the back of one hand against our forehead, and then exchange hands. So the back of the other hand is against the forehead. And then we release our hands and lift them up and out in wide lateral arc, coming back down. So we'll do that again with the dedication. So bringing our hands up, back of one hand against the forehead, we wish for ourselves inner peace and contentment, that we'd rediscover a new way of being. And then as we exchange hands, we can think perhaps of people close to us. May they also find greater contentment and well-being in their life. And then as we open our hands in the wide gesture, we include everyone else in the group and all beings everywhere. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Okay, that's it. And of course, the important bit is now. So after a session like this, a formal session, see if you can bring some quality of meditative awareness into the rest of your day. So as one great master said, don't jump up like a startled rabbit. Even if we have a busy day ahead of us, see if we can bring this quality into our everyday activity. Good luck and see you next time. Thank you.